right, welcome back to another edition of The Night Shift. And I am joined this time around by an act that I've been trying to get on for a little bit. Finally, all the schedules aligned. But want to welcome in Bridget and BB, and collectively they are known as Stars in Sapphire. How we doing, ladies?
Good.
Doing good.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, absolutely. So, in addition to Stars in Sapphire, you also conveniently, I love how the way your guys' names worked out. So you could be, also you go out sometimes as Bern N Bridge.
Yep.
And do some stuff. So we'll talk more about that as well. But thanks for being with us. We always like to start with, how did all this get going? How did it get started? And Bridget, you're to my left, so we'll start with you first. First of all, when did music become a part of your life? And when did you say, I think this is something that I'd like to do with my life moving forward? How old were you? When did it get started?
Yeah.
Walk me through it.
I was, I first started taking piano lessons. My mom made me and all my siblings take piano lessons at like age 6. So music actually kind of started for me pretty young. And then I transitioned into trumpet because my grandpa had an old trumpet and my mom was like, you have to take music lessons, so pick an instrument. And I was like, I'll do that.
Yeah.
I played that for a few years and I just wasn't happy with it. And eventually I switched to guitar because I always thought it looked really cool. And at the time, Hannah Montana was a big thing.
Still is.
Yes.
She still is, yeah. Yeah.
I saw her play a black Stratocaster on the show, and I was like, I want to do that.
Yeah.
So I switched to guitar, and at around age 12, and after that, I was like, this is my instrument, and I want to do this for the rest of my life.
So was mom a musician? Is that why it was like you making you take lessons?
She grew up playing flute for most of her life, and she also danced a little bit. It was really important to her to instill that in her kids, and so it was just.
It's unfortunate, but in my generation, when we grew up, music was a course that was just taught. Like when I was in elementary school, we had gym and we had music, and it was like twice a week. And there was a music teacher who came in and taught us all the basics, and we got, so unfortunately that's kind of lost out there. So kudos to mom for introducing you to music and your siblings. Yeah. So what about you, BB? How did it get started for you?
I think, it started with dance, really. I was 3 years old and I was doing like ballet, like every little girl does, but I stuck with that. And I was really into theater. I took piano lessons growing up, and I started doing voice lessons from like 6th grade, and it was all classical from there. So this kind of stuff, like the band stuff that we've been doing, is relatively new territory for me.
Yeah.
But
And I should mention, Bridget plays guitar and BB sings. And what I would ask you is, BB, like, so when did somebody say to you, oh, okay, this little girl, she's a little bit of a ham. You can tell she kind of likes to perform, but
total ham.
She's got a pretty, who said, well, you've actually got a pretty good voice. When did that happen? When did somebody identify it and say, yeah, you know what? The girl can actually sing.
I don't know. It's always been something that I've wanted to do.
Yeah.
And earlier on, like, I knew that was something that I wanted to do. Like,
right.
But I didn't always have the right support system. My parents were always supportive of, like, you can do anything that you set your mind to.
Right.
And I'm so grateful for that, because if I didn't have that, I don't know if I would still be doing this in this capacity. I had some great private voice teachers, Samantha Blasey, Roger Lentz, and then when I was in college, Jennifer Trost. They were all fabulous individual one-on-one. But in terms of like from school and people picking me out of a crowd, that was never a thing.
Yeah.
Really. So
wow.
I'm grateful for that. Tom Blasey has been another one, a director that gave me opportunities. So yeah.
You mentioned college, and we'll kind of spin off into that direction. Bridget, you're from State College. And BB, you went to McDevitt, but you both wind up at Penn State.
Yep.
Yeah, and this is where we meet, correct?
Yes.
So walk me through that story.
It's funny. I don't think you remember the
I
first time.
I don't remember,
Yeah.
Bridget. I don't. It was a
You know,
whirlwind of a
just a
day.
hint. You should lie and say, "Oh my
I
God,
totally remember.
yeah, it was one of the most important moments of my life." Yeah,
Yes,
right.
defining.
Defining moment of my life. Yeah, right.
So
At any
sorry.
rate, yeah.
What's funny is I remember seeing you. I didn't officially like meet you. Actually, it was the day before college started because we had like freshman orientation, all the
Mhm.
music majors.
Yeah.
And so I remember seeing you there. And then the next morning, we had music theory class together, and I
Yep.
saw you again. And then later in the we had classes throughout the day with each other, and then we were in the same club, which coincidentally was happened on the first day of school, first day of classes.
Mhm.
And I saw you again, and I was like, I keep seeing this girl.
She's
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Hi.
Yeah.
So it was kind of funny. And then you actually introduced yourself to my brother, but I didn't like really get
Yes.
to talk to you a whole
Yeah.
lot. But yeah, we kind of, I don't know, that I remember seeing you and meeting you there, but I don't think you remember me.
My involvement with this kind of music is like intrinsically linked with like Bridget
Right.
because you were involved in a music ministry thing in the Newman Club up at Penn State. So they had freshman orientation for all the music kids, and then they were also having different, the first club meetings of the year, so you can go and check different things out. And having gone to McDevitt, gone to Catholic school all my life, being Catholic, I was like, I'll check out the Newman Club, which is the Catholic group.
Hmm.
And you were in music ministry, and that was
Yeah.
completely different from anything that I was exposed to with music at that point, because you're playing guitar, there's drums, bass, whatever, and I'm like, this is just so cool.
Right.
Your brother was the music director
Yeah.
for that at the time, so I reached out to him and was like, hey, can I get involved? This is just completely different from anything I've done.
Yeah.
So
So you were both music majors.
yeah.
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 Okay. So coming into that, I mean, how fortuitous. Here we sit in 2026, but you guys are both freshmen.
Mhm.
You're both music majors,
Yeah.
right? And it just kind of,
Came together.
melds
Day
and
one.
comes together. So you get to know each other through that program. And then when do we start working together or collaborating together? Was it right away? Did you guys instantaneously kind of click?
mean,
And
We did.
We
Yeah.
did some projects together.
Yeah.
Like school projects, because they would have us like collab on little
Thing.
songs and
Mhm.
stuff for like grades and stuff. And then we also did music ministry together for a little bit.
There was an event on campus that they do for homecoming weekend called Guard the Lion Shrine.
Mhm.
And I was in a group called Lion Ambassadors, and they're like a student group, and they do tours, and they also do some of these campus events. And that was one of them. And I was the entertainment coordinator for the event. So they had like blue band drumline, they had like Sue Paterno spoke, things like that.
Mhm.
And then it was up to us to figure out like who else was going to be on the stage and performing. And I was booking these other acts and calling people and trying to get some stuff together. And I left in like a 15-minute slot that was like for another band. And fully intending to book us. And we didn't even have, it was the two of us, we didn't have somebody to play bass and drums. But I was like, I really would like to just try if possible. So the other kids that are on the committee are like, oh, there's a random 15-minute slot. Who's going to be playing? I was like,
I
have
might know somebody.
no idea.
Yeah, right, yeah,
It's crazy. So
Yeah.
we grabbed two of our other girlfriends and that was our first time performing together, was for that event. It was right by the Lion Shrine. It was
Sure.
really cool.
Yeah. Is there any
Yeah.
video of that out there anywhere?
There is.
Yes.
Okay.
I still have the videos of those.
Yeah.
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 Good quality, but yeah, they're out there for sure.
That's good.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that somebody at least shot that, so you guys have that moving forward
Yeah.
as a memory of the first time that the two of you actually played together. So from there, when did the idea of, hey, we should do this regularly, or this should become a thing, or a band, or however you want to call it? Or did you guys just kind of, you're in college, I get it. Did you guys kind of like hang out and just make music, play music sometimes? Or when did you ever decide about getting serious and maybe turning this into an actual project, a promotable project?
I mean, I feel like it wasn't until after college that we were more serious about it, because it's so ironic. You're in a music program and you don't have time outside of everything to be really trying to make music outside of the classes. The classes are very time consuming, and there's lots of one credit things. So it, I don't know. I just felt like we didn't have as much time to do that. I was in another program too, and
Yeah.
you finished early, so we
Yeah.
were pretty busy then.
Yeah, I actually moved away, and then we actually started talking more about doing music together
When
once
you
I
were
left.
gone,
Yeah.
because that coincided with COVID.
Yeah, it did. It,
Oh,
it
yeah.
happened. We graduated kind of around COVID time,
Yeah.
which was tricky.
Yeah.
But yeah, I actually moved away to like near Nashville, Tennessee for a year, and we
Was that
kept in-
music related? Did you go to Nashville?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
Yeah,
right.
kind of to get some connections and
Yeah.
experience down there.
Mhm.
It was only for a year, but we kept in contact, and we actually like wrote a song even like apart, states away.
COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, it was.
COVID.
You know, that was a lot of that going on.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was for your school project, I think.
Yeah, there was
Yeah.
a songwriting class, and we had to have something that was like produced. And I was like, Bridget, I was like, I need some help with this because
Yeah.
I know you're good at that.
Yeah.
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 So
And then I was there for about a year, and then I wanted to come back to Pennsylvania, and I called you up and I was like, hey, I'm thinking about moving back to Pennsylvania, and my sister lived in the area, and I was like, do you want to start a band together?
Yeah.
And you're like,
Okay.
yeah, sure.
sure.
That's where. Okay. Well, that's
Yeah.
where. That's where it took off.
Great.
3 or 4 years ago now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to more of this, but I mean, I was just looking at your schedule, and you're a couple of busy ladies. I mean, you've got a lot of stuff going on, and here we are now. You've got
Mm-hmm.
a busy summer on the way, and a lot of
Yeah.
dates, and a lot of things lined up. So
Yeah.
we'll talk more about that coming up. But I'm going to give you
Absolutely.
each a little chance to. But Bridget, I'm going to focus on you here for a moment. And so playing guitar, you said you started out piano.
Mhm.
A lot of times piano does equate to guitar, just in
Yeah.
terms of. So, who are some of your influences, and as you were younger, as you were learning and growing up and playing guitar, who are some of your favorites? Who did you try to emulate? Who are you stealing riffs and licks off of?
Right,
Yeah.
right, yeah.
So walk me through that.
Yeah, I had quite a few. I would say the initial like inspiration was Hannah Montana, which is kind of funny.
Sure.
Even though she wasn't a guitar player, she was like
Yeah.
a cool pop performer,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so I looked up to her. But once I started to really get into guitar, then I started being introduced to guitar players and who they were and everything. One of my biggest inspirations is Zach Myers from Shinedown.
Mhm.
So he's a huge inspiration for me, and also a guitarist named Seth Morrison from Skillet. So I was really into kind of
I've
like
seen both live.
Yeah, they're great.
They're awesome.
Yeah. And I think what stuck out to me with them was they are really great live performers
Yes.
with guitar, and I just really wanted to emulate them, and I would be constantly watching videos of them and what gear they used, and it's been cool because I actually kind of became friends with Seth, and he's been a mentor for me in my life, so that was really cool because at the time my guitar hero kind of ended up mentoring me a little bit, which was really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, those were kind of my biggest inspirations throughout my life, and it's changed, over the years, find new people to be inspired by, but those were the two biggest ones for sure.
Is there a favorite guitar that you have?
Yeah.
What's your go-to?
I have a couple.
Okay.
I
If
don't
you had
know
to-
this. Yeah.
You've got to go to a deserted island,
Yeah.
and you can only take one of your guitars.
Yeah.
Which one are you taking, and why?
I'm definitely taking my PRS Mira. So I have this really, it's kind of like a limited edition one because PRS doesn't make a whole lot of these. It was from 2008 or 9. They made, I think, maybe like 300 of them. I could be wrong about that, but it was a white PRS with gold hardware. Mira.
I've seen you play it in videos.
Yeah.
Sometimes you'll just like turn the camera on and play something.
Yes,
Yeah, so
yeah.
I'm not surprised too. I thought that's what you might say, but
Yeah.
but anyway, yeah.
Yeah, that's my favorite because I've never seen anyone have that same guitar because they're pretty rare. And it can kind of do everything. It can do any genre, any style. of music, and I look for that in guitars that can kind of do, because we do a lot of different music. You know,
Sure.
we'll do pop, we'll do rock, and I kind of needed a guitar that does everything because I have a bunch of different loves of genres and music. So that's my go-to
Yeah.
guitar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, baby, your turn, because I want to ask you about, in addition to the singing, well, you're just a well-rounded performer.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah. You do a lot of things, and one of the things that you do, and quite frankly, there may be some people that are tuning into this podcast because they know you from what you've done in theater.
Yeah.
Yeah. So talk about theater, and that's obviously a second love or a first love, or yeah. So talk about theater and what you've done and where folks can find you.
I mean, I love theater. I've been a theater kid since I feel like day one.
You did theater in high school and even
Yeah,
back to like middle school. You were
yeah,
always trying out for the. So
right.
anyway,
Yeah,
and you've done it. You've continued to do it.
yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, not to keep talking about college, but like, that was a whole new
That's
world. We
okay. I
were,
could sit around and talk about my college days for about 3
it
hours.
was like,
People would be
I
bored,
feel
but
bad,
yeah,
but like,
yeah.
it was a lot. It was an eye-opening thing. In
Yeah.
addition, I mean,
Well, it's also how the two of you came together.
right,
So, but yeah,
right.
right.
And
Without college, we're not sitting here.
that was
So
Exactly.
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
complete. That's true. That's
yeah,
true.
yeah, right.
But we were required to be in an opera every semester,
Mm-hmm.
so that was just completely different. But I feel like there's a lot of similarities between all of this stuff, and I found even the artists that I gravitate towards in. I'm saying that like this is like outside of me. No, like
Yeah.
the band stuff.
Sure.
I feel like I gravitate towards um, performers in that. Like I really like Lady Gaga,
Yeah.
and she's a theater kid through and through.
Right.
I really like Stevie Nicks because in addition to like the songwriting, she's also has a brand and a look and a feel with a lot of her music. I think that's important as like an overall package experience. And then I really like Michael Jackson. I really like Michael Jackson as a performer. I think that he was just amazing at his like commitment to everything, just being so precise, and I don't know, like the dance, the music, the feel, the production, the videos that he would do.
Do you
Yeah.
feel that the singing that you do with bands, or just with Bridget when you're doing Bridge and Bern, um, is that an extension of what you do in theater, as it's all just a performance?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think.
Do you ever carry some of that over?
Yes.
Do you ever, when you go out on stage, do you think, okay, well, I mean, I'm going out here as the singer, but this is a performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that has helped me in both. Like when we play as a full band, I I like taking I sound such a ham. I like
That's
taking up
okay.
space.
I was
I
the same
think
way
it's
when I was a kid.
important.
Yeah, right. I'm
Yeah.
still the same way.
I think it's important because
It
people
is.
want to be energized and they like feed off of the energy that you give them. And 80% of the information that you are like receiving just comes from visuals and what you're taking in visually. So if you sound amazing, but you're just kind of like, whatever,
Right.
up there, like, that's not going to do as much as if you can add more to it.
There's always this talk in music about, there's debates about, who is the greatest front man or front woman. And that's a different debate from who is the best singer.
Yeah.
Because sometimes
sure.
the best
Yeah.
singer isn't, a classic example is, I don't think anybody's ever going to put a guy like David Lee Roth up there as a great singer.
Okay.
But as a performer and as a front man, as good as it gets, right?
Right.
But it's the great ones, and you mentioned three, Michael Jackson, Stevie Nicks, and also Lady Gaga, are the ones that can combine both.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, all three were great singers,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
amazing singers, but then all three are also, when you go and see them, it is a performance.
Yeah.
It
I
is.
think it's
Yeah.
theater.
Yeah.
And that's helped me. This stuff has helped me with theater too, to be more in the moment, be fully present.
Yeah.
Like theater things are scripted, but things can go off the rails, not
Yeah.
as planned, and we've experienced that, inevitably experienced that in this kind of setting, so it's helped.
One of my favorite all-time bands is the Cars, and to this day, they may even on certain days be in my all-time top 10. About the worst concert I ever saw was the Cars. And
No.
I know, I love the Cars
Why?
because Rick Ocasek, God bless, Benjamin Orr, same, rest in peace. Not the most dynamic live performers.
Wow.
You know, they both just kind of like tapped their foot. They went through the songs sounded good,
Right. Yeah.
but in terms of just being like, and when I saw them too, it was kind of in a time where big performances and all of that stuff was kind of part of the package.
Yeah.
And they just kind of came out, got behind the microphone, performed their songs, did them reasonably well, but didn't really interact with the crowd. And when the show was over, thank you, good night, you know? And I shouldn't say they were bad, but I definitely walked away. And in retrospect, looking back at it now, for as legendary as the Cars are, there's nobody that ever talks about how great they were live, because they
yeah.
just weren't really all that great live. So to me, there's always that aspect of, you know, it's one thing to have really great material and really great songs, but you know, I think that you have an appreciation for its performance. It really is. If people pay their money to come see you, it's okay to be a little bit of a ham.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's hard. It's hard. You don't want to, like, you know, you're always riding that fine line between,
Yes.
gosh, I hope people don't think I'm like over the top.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But do you ever look at the crowd reaction and say, I think I'm okay? I know it's hard to talk about, but you know.
I always feel like I'm trying to do as much as I can.
Yeah.
Whether we're at like an acoustic venue that's like a dinner crowd,
And it's a
or
little
if we're-
more, right. Yeah.
I'm still trying, like, I don't know,
Yeah.
to give people energy.
Yeah.
I think that's super important.
And Bridget, I mean, the performances you guys put on, especially when you're doing the full band thing, are really high energy, really, and I think people really respond to that.
Yeah.
The crowd that sees you at Telus 360, I know they love you there, and people are really into it. Which, for those who don't know, is a Telus 360s in downtown Lancaster. Talk about the crowd energy and feeding off of that.
Yeah. I mean, it always helps when the crowd, because we give as much energy as we can.
And when you're getting it back.
And then when you're getting it back,
right.
It gives us even more energy.
Yeah.
So and it's like, yes, this is it. It is difficult when we're trying to give energy and nothing's coming back.
Yeah.
And then
when you're the first band and there's 5 more to come and people are just kind of settling in and
exactly.
Yeah, right.
But I do think we do a really good job of really warming people up. Even if it is like a dinner crowd that we're playing to, we can usually, I think, get some people up and moving and at least get a little bit into it. But sometimes it's difficult. But the best moments are when the audience gives it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
we're going to talk more about what you guys have coming up, what people can look forward to from you guys. Maybe some newer music down the road. Yeah. Okay. Little birdie told me that maybe that was going to happen. So we'll talk more about that coming up, and want to talk about, obviously, the more acoustic stuff that you guys do as just Bern N Bridge. So lot to get to with you guys. Stick around. We've got more to come here with Stars and Sapphire. We'll be right back. So I want to talk about the acoustic thing that you guys do, right? And it works out, Bern N Bridge. So, you know, did you start doing the acoustic thing and then bring in the full band? Or did you do full band and then decide, we could do some dates acoustically? What started first?
It's kind of a funny story, actually.
We like funny stories. Yeah.
Yeah, we were just looking to get in places in the area. And, you know, you call and nobody picks up, you email and you don't get a response. So we were going places in person to just be like, hey, do you have any openings? Like, it was just the 2 of us. And the only place that had any availability was Springgate. And it was for St. Patrick's Day. And they're like, I don't know, do you know any Irish music? And we were like, yes, we do.
So you guys actually lied and said, oh, yeah, we know all kinds of Irish Celtic. It's a thing.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah.
Totally lied
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
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 So.
Did you
Yeah.
literally say like, "Are you kidding me? I'm Bridget O'Leary." Right, yeah.
Right,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
my name is Bridget. I'm very Irish, but no, they gave us the date, and then you're like, so
Like
Mad
Bridget,
scramble.
we gotta
learn Irish music.
And I was like, great, because I grew up listening to the Chieftains and everything, so I come from an Irish family. But it wasn't something we've ever done together before.
Nope.
But it was, around St. Patrick's Day, and it was fun, so we did that.
Yeah, it's crazy how things will, as time goes on, everything just kind of snowballs and evolves into different stuff. And it's been cool to see how that has taken off for us too in the midst of this whole project overall.
Well, you almost get to kind of like double down, because you've got the Stars and Sapphire, and then there are certain, whether it's events or bookings that are more suited to the acoustic thing.
Right.
So you get to kind of, it adds dates to your calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've gotten to do some cool like Celtic festivals, which has been really fun.
Yeah.
So we get some different opportunities with the Bern N Bridge stuff.
Yep.
Yeah.
And the people in that community are really supportive.
Yeah.
Everybody's great. We've met up with a group across the pond, and they've been kind of like a mentor as a group collectively to us, and have helped us to get our name out there and to get us in front of the people in that music community, and they've been amazing.
But you guys, you don't just do Irish. You've done other things where you just play as an acoustic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. And just do a variety of songs.
Yeah.
Yeah. It kind of worked out too. I was thinking about this when I was driving down here, like, if your name was Elizabeth and your name was Catherine, how do we, the whole Bern N Bridge thing is perfect.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Your dad came up with that name.
Yep.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah. Shout out to Dad.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Dad.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we definitely did not intend to go into Irish music at all. It honestly found us, and we didn't. We performed once at Spring Game. We're like, all right, that was fun. Move on.
A one-off.
And then we actually went to the Gary Owen in Gettysburg. Was it like a week after?
It was the same weekend, I
It was
think.
the same
We had our first gigs for St. Patrick's Day. Also ended up being my dad's birthday that weekend. So we went to Gettysburg for a day trip. I was like, do you want to come along? We wandered into an Irish pub called the Gary Owen, and they were having a trad session in the back, just jamming out, a bunch of musicians. And my mom started talking to them and was like, oh, my daughter and her friend, they were just started playing some Celtic music in the area. And they were like, oh, that's cool. We started a conversation with them. Some of those musicians had already heard about us. We had heard about them. We had an on-the-spot audition with them. And then we, next thing you know, we're playing at the Gary Owen every month for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Fantastic. Well, and I have a friend of mine who's a bagpiper, and you'd be surprised. And then, obviously, the Irish thing's really big around St. Patty's Day. But I've through my friend, I've kind of learned that, boy, the Irish thing's kind of big all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's so many, like, whether it's Irish events or venues or whatever, and it's definitely a thing, and people flock to come see that music. Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean,
love it.
we had a gig at Lit It Springs Inn Friday night, and we're trying to assess what music works for the crowd and what they're picking up on, what they like, what they don't like, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the Irish stuff.
Yeah.
The Celtic stuff. We were doing Rattlin' Bog, and like
biggest song of the night.
biggest song of the night.
Yeah.
Probably because they can drink and they don't,
Yeah.
have
I
a good
think
time.
That's what's cool about Irish music, though, is it's always like a good time. It's always a community thing. It's very uplifting, and
Yeah. Do you like playing it?
I
Be
do.
honest.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yeah.
do. I
Yeah.
think it's weird because
And then you said you come from an Irish background.
Yeah. It's funny because I grew up listening to the Chieftains, and I came from a very like Irish family, and actually a bunch of my siblings are Irish dancers, like competitive Irish dancers.
Sure.
So I came from a very Irish family, but I had never played that music. I was influenced by it, but I never had like gotten into actually
Right.
playing it until you should, came
Uh-huh.
along.
Right.
It's kind of funny. But I was like, yeah, I know this music. Like, I just never thought to play it because electric guitar was always my big thing. So I could always play acoustic and stuff, but it wasn't like something I really spent a
So
lot of time
the girl
on.
with an Irish background, it took the Italian girl
Yep.
to plug you
Well,
into
not
because you're not.
I'm not Irish. I'm like
yeah.
Stilton family, like
Yeah.
Croatian,
Yeah.
Hungarian. Yeah.
Oh, I assumed you were Italian.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But
Just because of your name.
and
I bet a
no,
lot
I'm
of people
not.
do, don't they?
My grandmother's like Welsh on my mom's side. I
Okay.
think her last name was Davis, so that's the only
Okay.
thing I can.
Yeah.
But I'm not at all. I just
Yeah.
like the music.
Just
Yeah.
like the music, yeah.
Well, and it was funny, even when I lived in Tennessee, you were doing an Irish song or something.
With Dave Kelly.
Kelly,
Dave
yeah.
Kelly, which you need to mention Dave Kelly, but yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
and then you had told me about even just kind of doing Irish music before all the Springgate stuff happened.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's like interesting. I was like, yeah, I know this music, but yeah, you were the one that got me kind of
Yeah.
into it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so you mentioned a name that we have to mention because he's a huge friend of this podcast and one of my favorite people, and I always refer to him as the nicest guy in the music business, and that's our great mutual friend, Dave Kelly, who actually kind of helped put you guys on my radar a little bit.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, right.
Shout out, Dave.
Shout out Dave. We love you, Dave. He's just a great. Anybody that knows Dave Kelly knows what a great guy is, and you guys have done some stuff with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave, John, and Joreen. Joreen was my first choir teacher when I was in St. Catherine's in grade school, and she was amazing. But they all have been super supportive. But Dave has
And you've
been,
worked in his studio too.
Yeah.
Yeah, we recorded your vocals, or at least your main vocal for our first original song that we put out together at the studio.
Yep.
Yeah, and got to know him. I got to know him through that.
Mhm.
Us doing that.
Yeah, he's such a great guy. So we wanted to make sure you got a shout out, Dave.
Yay.
Yes, Dave.
Yeah. So talk about. I mentioned earlier. Here we are sitting in summertime. My favorite time of the year to go see a show is during the summer when you can be outside, and you guys have a pretty packed schedule coming up. Anything you want to mention in the future here coming up in July or August that you want to point out?
Yeah.
July for you.
July.
I won't be there, but you will be there.
Yes.
Representing the band.
Representing us.
Representing
Yes.
us, 'cause I will be on vacation. You've got something big coming up.
The Swiftie Showcase with the CPMAs
Sure.
for the Central Pennsylvania Music Hall of Fame. They're inducting Taylor Swift into their Hall of Fame next year at their awards ceremony, and I think with that they're doing all of this Taylor Swift themed stuff.
Yep.
One of those projects is a Swiftie Showcase, so it's 20 acts at Allenberry, acoustic, and I'm one of those. You're on vacation, so I was like, I'll just
playing this.
I'll play piano and submit a video, and that'll be what's next for the brand.
She was top 20 people picked for it.
Thank
so it's
you.
big.
Yeah. I'm excited. It'll be fun. And then we have, of course, another Tellus gig, August 1st. That's 10:30 to 1 a.m. That's always a good time. We have our first gig at Castle Vineyard in August.
And like all of this information about future gigs and everything, where can everybody find you online?
We have a website. We have Instagram and Facebook. We try and keep updated, especially with our Instagram and Facebook accounts, where we're going to be next. So that's probably the best place to look.
Yeah. And Bridget, I love the videos that you spontaneously sometimes post.
Oh,
You just pick up your guitar and you just play.
Yeah.
Do you do that? I can't remember because we're friends on Facebook, but I also follow all the band stuff. Do you do that on both, or do you do that on your?
Yeah, I do it on a separate channel. I actually have a pretty big YouTube channel that's out there.
And the name of it is?
It's called Rich Bits.
Okay.
So it's a kind of a play on my name a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it grew a lot actually during COVID, and I sometimes will post videos of me playing covers and stuff and doing vlogs.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's gotten up to I think 26,000 right now for
That's
subscribers.
impressive.
So
On
sometimes
YouTube
I'll,
especially. YouTube's hard to get subscribers.
yeah. So I'll sometimes post little videos. It's not as much anymore, maybe like once a month or something. But yeah, I do enjoy doing that.
Will you make me a promise? I'm going to put you on the spot.
Okay.
Will you make me a promise?
Sure.
Okay. So 26,000 followers on YouTube. Doesn't have to be anytime soon, but at some point in time, you don't even have to give us a shout out. You don't even have to say anything. But next time you feel inspired or down the road to do one of your quick little guitar videos or covers, you wear a Night Shift t-shirt.
I will.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Okay.
That's easy. I can do that.
Okay. That's all.
I wouldn't even mind giving you guys a shout out.
Yeah,
Whatever you want to do.
I will totally do
Whatever you want to do.
Bridget's awesome. She's being too humble. She has like 3 million views on your Bohemian Rhapsody video. You're a PRS sponsored artist.
Yeah.
Your producer. Like, she's got it all going on.
Yeah.
Truly.
Yeah. So, okay. If you could just take that. All I need is you to wear the t-shirt. Yeah.
That's easy. I can do that. Look for it in the next video.
Yeah. And while we're at it, while we're discussing apparel, I can't, let this go. You guys both showed up today with a really, really impressive shoe game. So first of all, for you, Bridge, I mean, the old school Nikes.
Oh yeah.
So what's the inspiration behind those? Why those are from like when I was in high school. Yeah. Yeah.
I love Nikes. I actually just bought a pair yesterday too. I love sneakers. Mostly because it helps me feel grounded when I play guitar and perform actually.
Yeah.
So I just love sneakers, and I can't do like any other shoe when I play guitar. It has to be flat sneaker.
I have talked to a bunch of performers that same thing. Like a lot of them wear Chuck Taylors.
Yeah, I do that.
Or Van, because like they feel the stage.
Yes.
Yeah, they're flat and they feel the stage, and for whatever reason, like And then meanwhile, we've got our Lady Gaga fan over here.
Right.
Yeah, right. So I mean, come on, you got to show those off.
We gotta
Those
get
are
the shoes.
those are fabulous.
Right.
That's the word.
They're well loved.
Where did you get
sure.
those?
And
talk about them a little bit, because you said there's a little bit of a story there.
Yeah.
We call it our 5th band member.
Okay.
I don't know where I got them. I know they're Betsy Johnson. Shout out Betsy Johnson. Sponsored by. And I wore them when we performed at Thon at Penn State a couple years ago. And after our performance, one of the songs we did was Edge of 17, and one of the local newspapers wrote about some of the bands that were performing. They wrote about our performance and
glowing review. I read it.
Did you?
Yeah,
no
they gave
way.
you guys. Yeah, they gave you guys a glowing review.
Thank you.
Yeah,
I wasn't sure because they mentioned something about the shoes. They were like, she would embody Stevie Nicks more if she lost the sparkly boots. So I was like, is this a diss?
No.
But they're bringing it up. All press is good press.
Right.
Let's keep it going.
No, you guys got a really good review for doing that.
Thank
But
you.
but sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
No, thank you.
So that's the 5th band member.
Yeah. They come to a lot of shows.
Yeah.
Right.
Every band show, I would say.
Yeah.
New one. I wanted to actually, you mentioned it, and that was kind of where I was going to head too, because you guys being both Penn Staters, and there's some great video out there. Twice now. Well, first of all, I should mention twice you've been nominated for a Central Pennsylvania Music Hall of Fame award. So congratulations on that. And twice now, you've gotten to play Thon. And for those that don't know, of course, most do, but Thon is the annual event, the 24-hour dance event that's held at Bryce Jordan Center at State College for Four Diamonds Fund, helping kids with cancer. And it's such a big thing here in Central Pennsylvania. And Thon is and the place is packed. And Bryce Jordan Center is large. That had to be, as Penn State graduates, such a thrill for the two of you.
Yeah.
To take the stage there. And how did you you obviously just can't show up and with your gear and hop on stage and play. So how did you even wind up getting a chance to play Thon?
We auditioned.
Yeah.
You had to
Send
audition.
in-
That's
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
audition.
Yeah, so we had to send in videos
Yeah.
for that. So, and only so many people get picked every year. So.
Yeah.
And the first time you did it was, I would say, 2 or 3 years ago.
3 years ago, maybe.
It must have been three
Yeah.
3
Yeah.
years. Yeah, and we had just started playing together.
That's the impression that I
Yeah.
got. So
Yeah.
that leads me to my next question. What were the nerves like before you went out and did that?
I was actually fine. I think
Yeah.
we're just like, both times.
Born to do this.
We were totally fine. I mean, you get the initial, like, when you first start playing a note, you're like, all right, this is real, but I think we handled it really well. And honestly, I get more nervous for smaller gigs than I do for the bigger ones, because it's, seeing people's, like, faces at a smaller gig and they're right
When
in
they're
front
right
of
there,
you.
you worry about how it's going to go down. And
Yeah.
they're going to like us.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Especially
Yeah.
playing in front of other musicians is really nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
I get way more nervous for that than I ever got playing in front of like 10,000 people at Penn State. So,
Yep. Yeah.
yeah, you handled it really well. You're like,
Thank you.
yeah, amazing.
It was such an adrenaline rush that, like, everything that you practice and try to be aware of, and like that goes out the window. So
Yeah.
I wasn't like watching. I don't like watching it back because I wasn't super happy with how I sounded. But in the moment, there's so much energy, and it's for like something that is so hopeful and positive. So like it's
Yeah.
a good space.
Yeah.
So like you just realize this is a big sink or swim thing.
Yeah.
Well, why not? Just go for it.
Yeah. And once the switch gets flipped, I mean, I've had this happen to me on TV where in a big broadcast, big moment, a time when I know the audience is big and there's more attention, and I'll go back and I'll watch it and I'll be like, gosh, I don't even like kind of remember.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I don't even, well, okay, yeah, I guess went over pretty well.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you just go with it.
Right.
Yeah, you just
Yeah.
go with it, and you don't have time to really think about it.
No.
You
Yeah.
just go and you just play and you do the best you can, and
Yeah.
you hope it lands.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
That was our first time playing with those guys all together as a band.
We never performed with that particular band ever.
Yeah.
Right.
So it was our first performance was in front of them.
Yeah. Now, when you guys go out as Stars and Sapphire, there's obviously a bass player and a drummer.
Mm-hmm.
Talk about.
We try and
It changes.
yeah. But we have a couple
Yeah.
solid
Yeah.
people that have been playing with us. Over the years, David Weaver was one, the first drummer for us. He's in Memphis now. He's doing music and sound stuff for like a mega church in
Yeah.
Memphis. Alex was another bass player, amazing bass player from Penn State. He's in Pittsburgh now.
Yeah, and as we've discussed, a lot to come with not only the acoustic thing, but also what you guys do as a 4-piece band. Bridget, I got to ask, and I've had some other female performers, female acts on here. One of my favorite local guitarists is Kathy Rim, who, I mean, she can shred and play with the best of them. So I'd almost feel remiss if I didn't respectfully ask you, what is it like being a guitar player? And you guys focus on a lot of different genres, but you also play in the rock world too. And you've certainly got some rock influences when we're talking about Shinedown and Skillet.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So rock bands.
Oh yeah.
You know? So what's it like in a world that, quite frankly, is somewhat at least male dominated, coming out there as a lead guitar player, as a female, and a young female?
Right.
What's that like?
It can be difficult at times, and I'm not gonna lie. But it's also cool, because I know, like, if I see other girls in the audience, like, who may play guitar or want to play guitar, like I can see it does inspire them to see somebody else doing that. And even on like the internet when I post videos too. However, that being said, I get a lot of unnecessary comments from men in the guitar world, whether it's in person or, you know, through a YouTube comment or something, it is unfortunate. I do get quite a few people trying to pick apart what I do, and or get like a backhanded compliment of like, oh, you play really well for a girl, you know, that type of thing.
Right.
So yeah, it is tricky. But I do know there is, I think there was a recent statistic, I think that Fender put out, that there's more girls picking up guitar, young girls right now, than boys are. So that's really cool because, you know, being part of that, maybe hopefully that influence of inspiring other girls to pick it up and do it. And I think it's becoming a little bit bigger for girls to play guitar, but it is definitely a little difficult at times.
When we had Kathy Rim on, it's funny because her response was very, very similar. And, you know, just so you know, I mean, Kathy's about my age. She's a little older. But she said the same thing in that one of the most incredible things that she gets out of being a female playing lead guitar is when she looks out into the audience, no matter where they're at, and she sees a 10-year-old girl like air guitaring and playing like, and she's like I, you know, she kind of said the same thing, like humbly, it's a really cool opportunity to be an influence and show younger girls that, you know, hey, you know, we rock too. Yeah. And we don't have to be in the background, and we can play lead guitar, and we can be out there. And I'll give you another piece of advice. As someone who, you know, has been, you know, radio and then doing television for a long time, and doing it in now a space where everybody has the ability to give you feedback instantaneously on everything you do. Yeah. I have heard everything from being on TV and being the weatherman, you know. You talk too much. I hate your ties. I hate your hair. You're too fat. You're this, you're that, whatever. I don't watch you because of X, Y, and Z. When I would say, you could have just kept scrolling. You know, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, my mom taught me, if you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Yeah. Flip side to that, though, is that, you know, humbly, this podcast has done well, and humbly, things have gone well for me on social media. Same for you. Look at all the followers that you have. And BB, you mentioned she's got stuff that has 3 million views. Yeah. So I'll do it for you. Ready? It's my podcast, so we can do. I'll do it for you. Okay. To anybody who's been negative, and to the haters. Okay. You good? Does that work?
I love it.
Okay. All right. When we come back, it's not going to be the final 2. It's going to be the final 4. And I'm going to hit you guys with the final 4 when we come right back with Stars and Sapphire. All right. So we call it the final 4. And before we let you guys get out of here, we've got to hit you with the final 4 questions. And the first, and again, to my left, Bridget, we'll start with you. One favorite band or artist of all time?
Okay. I would say Lady Gaga. Because, well, for me, in my life, she was kind of the reason why, like, I chose to really go into music professionally. Like, I wanted to do it pretty young, but in high school, I kind of had to make the decision, like, was I going to go into music professionally or not, as, like, my career. And at the time, she just really inspired me to do that because I had a lot of loves of different genres, and she did a lot of different genres. But at her core, it was pop music, and that's kind of how I felt. She was able to do rock, jazz, pretty much musical theater, literally everything. And I just loved how she incorporated all those genres into the pop music ultimately.
Well, I would guess and say that her career somewhat in parallel or lined up to when you started really kind of in music. Like, she was just starting, you know, when you were young and just starting to play music, she was just starting to break big. Yes. And so, you know, there's a lot to be said for that. You know, whoever inspires you when you're younger. Yeah. And then she's had such a career that she's as big as she ever was.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You know, all these years later. What about you, BB?
I would say that as
Yeah.
well. I mean, I'll pick a different one because I would say it for the same thing.
It's funny
Yeah.
because I think that's why we work really well together, is because I think it is kind of the same for both of us.
Yes.
Being influenced by some of the similar people. But,
Yeah.
But
I agree with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can hear it in your music.
Can you?
Yeah, oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, it's pretty obvious that Lady Gaga's an influence on the two of you.
Yeah.
You know, and even the song that you did with Dave Kelly.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, I'm getting a Lady Gaga vibe off
Mhm.
of this. Have you seen her live? Dumb
Yeah.
question. Of course you have. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
killer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just
Yeah.
absolutely. It's just an amazing performer. To me, she's a bit of a throwback because, like you say, she's not afraid to dabble into different genres. She's not afraid to redefine herself.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that was really, for my generation, you know, being a big David Bowie fan or a Freddie
Mhm.
Mercury,
Yeah.
you know, Queen put out records that were totally different as their career went along. David Bowie, same thing. She's definitely a total throwback in that way. And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I like her so much is that, boy, she's got cojones on her, and she's not afraid to. Just when you think that she's this type of an artist or that type of, she goes, well, I'm gonna do this now, and it's
Right.
gonna be a little bit, you know, and yeah, so it takes a lot, and you have to get to a point in your career where you actually have put in the equity to where a record company goes, okay, well, you can just do whatever you want, and not be like,
Yeah.
we want hits.
Yes.
Right.
We want Lady Gaga from 2012, and that's
Yeah.
all we
Yep.
want. Yeah, you know.
Yep.
So, kudos to her. Big shout out to her. Okay, so if you could have lunch with any one person, dead or alive, and it can or cannot be from the music business, whatever you decide, Bridget, who would it be?
I feel like it changes for me every day. But right now, I love producing music. That's a huge love of mine, as well as playing guitar. And there's kind of a up and coming producer that I really like. His name is Dan Nigro. So he does Chappell Roan's music, and he does Olivia Rodrigo and Conan Gray's music. And I think he just won Producer of the Year at the Grammys this past year, or a year or two ago. And I really love the way that he produces, because he incorporates a lot of guitar into pop music, which kind of went away for a while. Pop music tends to not have as much rock guitar influence
Sure,
and
right.
everything, but it's making a comeback, I think, because
Or
of
they
him.
use a track
Yeah.
to do. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
right,
Yeah. So I really like the way that he produces, and I would love to sit down and just have producer conversations with him.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Well, again, you know, there's not a tremendously long list of super well known female producers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, ready to break some more ground?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is a goal for me in my
Yeah.
life. Yeah.
Yeah.
She can do it.
Yeah.
Bridget can do it.
Yeah. Awesome. All right, BB, for you, lunch.
We just saw a really cool show at Mount Gretna. It was all about Janis Joplin, so I think I'm on that right now, and I'd like to have lunch with her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, as a singer,
Yeah,
she was something else.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It just, you know,
Yeah.
and she was our age about.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I want to say 27.
She's
27.
27.
Yeah,
Yep.
I mean, maybe off. Put it to you this way: Janis Joplin was even before my time.
Yeah.
You know, because I was born in 1970. So,
Yeah.
you know, by the time I was getting into music, I mean, obviously her stuff was still on the radio, but I can't even sit here at my age and say, "Oh yeah, I saw Janis Joplin." I should have been able to see her. So yeah, tragic ending, but yeah, great singer, great voice. What's the one song, Bridget, that you wish you would have written?
The one that has recently come to mind for me, there's a lot that I'm like, really wish
It's
I
a
wrote
tough
this.
question.
Yeah.
That's why I ask it. Yeah, it's hard,
Mhm.
especially for musicians. It's like,
Yeah.
one song. Yeah.
Yeah. I mentioned this recently to you, actually. Oh my gosh, I just blanked on the name. I Was Made for Loving You by Kiss.
Did we hear that?
I'm obsessed with the lyrics of that. It's funny, like, Even though I like producing and songwriting, what I really love is also lyrics and the melody that really sticks out to me.
Jeff, grab my keychain. It's over there if you don't mind.
Keychain?
Yeah, my keychain. It's right next to mine. So full disclosure, in terms of meeting each other in person, today is the first day that we have met each other.
Oh,
This is my keychain.
Love it.
Yeah. So I am a massive Kiss fan.
Okay.
So that's why
Yeah,
I'm
I
so
heard
excited
that. Yeah.
to
see his Ace Frehley
yeah.
thing on the
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah, I did.
Oh,
Yes, I did.
I did
Yeah.
a quick little Ace Frehley thing
Yeah.
when the great Ace Frehley,
You
the
did.
great Ace Frehley
Yeah.
passed away.
Yeah.
So I was made for loving you, which of course is the very first track off the Dynasty record, which came out in 1979. But anyway,
Yeah.
I digress.
So funny.
So in fact, it was a week ago yesterday. I was at my niece's wedding in California, and my niece, who's 30, and shout out, God love you, Kira, I love you. So we're, the family's out there dancing, whatever, and damn, like unsolicited, if the disc jockey didn't drop in "I Was Made for Loving You," and like I've got like tears
ready to
running
go.
down my cheeks. Well, I'm at my niece's wedding and I'm dancing to Kiss. But that's, I don't know. Have you guys ever tried to play that? It goes
We've
over.
talked about it.
So we
It
talked
goes
about
over
it.
great.
Especially because recently Youngblood released a version of it.
Yes,
Yeah.
and it's phenomenal.
So good.
Yeah.
His vocal is
So-
all respect to Paul Stanley, but Youngblood's vocal
Yes.
is unbelievable.
Believable.
Look it up on
Yeah.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Youngblood
Yeah.
doing "I Was Made for Loving
We were
You."
listening to it on the way here.
On the way here, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that really kind of also opened my eyes to like the amazing songwriting behind that was that version of
Yeah.
it. And but yeah, I'm just obsessed with the production and all of that.
Yeah. What's interesting about that song is that when it came out, it was a little bit controversial because it was a little more, dare I say it, disco-y, dancey
Mhm.
Yeah.
than what kind of like traditional Kiss, Detroit Rock City, rock
Yeah.
and roll all night.
Yeah.
So there were a lot of fans that initially kind of went, ugh, they're selling out, they're going disco. Meanwhile, it opened up the door to a whole number of fans. And if you look at Kiss's catalog on Spotify, it is far and away the most listened to song.
Mhm.
It's got
Yeah.
over 1 billion plays now, which is rarefied air, in terms of, streaming music. So it's really taken on a life of its own. And boy, does it do my heart proud, Bridget, to hear you say, "I was made for loving you." That's the best answer we've had to that
Yes,
question yet. What are 25, 26 episodes in, something like that. Okay. Anyway, so
That's good.
no pressure, baby.
I know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Yeah.
I would either either Jolene or Landslide, because both of those have been re-recorded so many times.
Well, you have a lot of money.
Right.
Yeah. If you had read, yeah. Streaking.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I keep waiting for somebody to say, to the answer to that question, to be happy birthday. Because
Sure.
financially, if there's the one song we wish we had written, it'd be happy birthday.
Birthday.
Right.
So if you had the publishing for that, but
Yeah.
Dolly Parton.
Yeah, I
Stevie
love
Nicks.
Dolly too.
Yeah, I love Dolly too.
She's
Who
great.
doesn't? Yeah,
Or
that's a
Beatles
great song.
Yesterday.
Beatles
Any
Yesterday is
yes.
also in terms of publishing. Yeah, but,
Absolutely.
Landslide's just such a great song, and man, when you see
Right.
her do that live, and there's a live version. When Fleetwood Mac first got back together after they were apart for a while, they did a live show called The Dance. And I
Mhm.
believe it's like 96 or 97 now when that was put out. There's a version of just of her doing it, and it's pretty much acoustic with Lindsey Buckingham.
Yeah.
And it's just the two of them. Phenomenal.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
Well-
Phenomenal. Yeah.
When we saw her last year or the year before in
Hershey.
September. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hershey.
Yeah.
She was supposed to be here in June, and then that got canceled. I
Yeah.
think she was sick.
Yeah. She's no spring chicken anymore.
And
Yeah.
she's and then she came back in September. We saw it, and Christine McVie recently passed away, so they did that as a tribute to her.
Yeah.
And just being in the audience together.
Goosebumps. And being
And
together.
yes,
Yeah.
there's so many pictures of them together. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And-
Well, I talk about this a lot on the podcast, and that when it comes right down to it, and those who watch the podcast religiously, they're probably tired of hearing me say this, but music is emotion more than anything else.
Yes.
It's emotion, and how you tap into it, whether it's a memory or whether it's, and the right song at the right time or the right song at a bad time. That's why we're sitting here talking about it. Music is more than anything else, it's emotion. And so when you have those moments, I've been there. And, you see something like that live, it's, you'll remember that all forever. The two of you, where you were in that moment in that song. And every time you hear that song now, you're going to think about that.
Absolutely.
So that's really, really cool. All right. So final question. We'll get you guys out of here. And very simple. Beatles or the Stones, Bridget?
Oh gosh.
I thought that was going to be simple.
Wow.
No?
I'm gonna go Beatles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Beatles, BB?
Beatles.
Beatles.
Yeah.
Beatles for both of you. Any reason why?
I love how weird the Beatles get with some of their music.
Yeah.
They were unafraid. Not that the Stones weren't, but
No,
there's some weird ones in there.
When the Beatles started with I Want to Hold Your Hand, to when they got to Sgt. Pepper and Abbey Road, and where they completely different. BB, any thoughts on why the Beatles?
I'm not a big Rolling Stones fan.
Yeah.
I don't know a lot of their music.
It can be that simple. Yeah.
Right, but yeah.
Everybody
not that I
knows.
don't like them.
Everybody knows the Beatles.
Yes.
Yeah. So before we wrap up, again, find you guys on Facebook, Instagram. You have a website?
Yep.
Yeah, we do.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that website address is?
StarsandSapphire.com.
Okay. Not
Super
too hard to figure out or remember. Well, thank you both for taking the time. I told you guys this before the cameras started rolling, but in addition to our good friend Logan Bedard and Alex Lee Warner, who's been on, thank you for helping to lower the median age of the guest here on the night shift single-handedly. We appreciate it. I like to think of this as our second year, which it is, second year, second season, whatever. And one of the goals I wanted to have was to, bring in some artists that, a little younger, a little bit more of maybe a different perspective than a lot of the guests and the artists that we've had. And you guys have done that admirably. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
being-
having us.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah. My next goal is I got to get out and see you guys. So I promise I'm going to come see you.
Come to
okay?
tell us.
Yeah,
10:30 to 1 a.m.
Yeah. 1 a.m. Oh my God. Does 1 a.m. even exist anymore? Yeah. I think that's by the time I have to take my blood pressure medication. Yeah.
My mom and dad go.
Put my radio hat back on.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'll pretend.
Yeah.
I'll pretend it's 1995 again.
Yes.
Until 1 o'clock in the morning. Well, thanks a lot, guys, and thanks to, of course, you folks, the audience. We appreciate you tuning in to another edition of the Night Shift. We'll see you next time.
I feel like doing something easy.
Something chill?
Yeah. See if I know the words. Black is the color of my troubles hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest face and the gentlest hands. I love the ground whereon she stands. I love my love, and well she knows. I love the ground whereon she goes, and how I wish the day would come when she and I could be as one. Black is the color of my true
love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest face and the gentlest hands. I love the ground whereon she stands. I love the ground whereon she stands. I go to the Clyde to mourn and weep, though satisfied I never could sleep. I'll write you a letter in a few short lines and suffer death 10,000 times. Black is the color of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest face and the gentlest hands. I love the ground whereon she stands. Black is the color of my true love's hair. Her lips are like some roses fair. She has the sweetest face and the gentlest hands. I love the ground whereon she stands.
What's the name of that?
That is Black is the Color.
It's what?
Black is the Color.
By whom?
It's a traditional Celtic song.
Okay, that's why I didn't recognize it, but what a beauty. Oh my goodness.
Than's for doing that,
Thank
Bridget.
you so much.
That's
That's
right there is why we do this.
That's awesome. Thank you so much.
Nice.
That was so much
Thank you
fun.
so much, man. That was outstanding. Thank you.
Yeah, that was so cool.